Guys, in today's session, we are discussing on UI pages topic. Okay. So UI pages are like web pages, guys. UI pages are web pages. Web pages in the sense, let me just show you guys. Suppose UCS is actually ucsinfotech.com is actually a main domain. Okay. If you go to the ucsinfotech.com, here in the ucsinfotech.com, if I just click on all courses, this is a page. This is a page. If I scroll down, if I click on Power Apps here, if I click on Power Apps here, this is a page. You can see training, Power Apps training. So after the domain, you are able to see this one is actually a page. This one is a page, guys. Similarly, in ServiceNow also, we can create a page that is called UI page. Like in the websites, you can create the pages, right? Similarly, you can create a new page here. Okay. So to create that UI page, you have to go to UI pages. You have to go to UI pages. So in the UI pages, I'm clicking a new UI page here. Okay. Okay. I am going to create a new UI page. In that UI page, I am going to create a reference field. Okay. I am going to create a reference field here. Okay. So work in progress. UI page name I am giving as work in progress. Okay. So here I want to create a reference field. So you have to use this line of script G colon UI reference. Okay, within this jelly part, you can see jelly tag, right? Within this jelly tag, you have to write the script, guys. Okay. Assign to. I'm removing the underscore here. Assign to. Sys underscore user table. Table is user table. Query active true. Okay. So you are creating a reference field and the table name is sys underscore user. The reference qualifier is active true. I am just giving a break tag here. I am actually creating a button here, button tag. Clear, right? Okay. So I've created a reference field. Under that field, I have created a button called assign button. Can click on try it here. This is a reference field, guys. If you click on the magnifying glass, you are able to see users here. This is a reference field. Under the reference field, I have created a button called assign button. So in the whenever I click on that button, I want to show that button in the blue color. Okay. Class is equal to, you can see now it is showing in the blue color. Okay. I created a UI page. In that page, what I have done, I have created one reference field. I have created one button. That's it. Right. So once I click on this assign button, okay. So I have to call this client script, guys. So I am writing client script here. Okay. Populate assign to. Populate assign to. So this function, you have to call it here. On click is equal to, so you are upon clicking on this button, you are calling this function. This function is declared here. Alert. I am just writing button clicked. Button clicked. If you click on try it here. So whenever I click on this button, what is it telling? Button clicked. What is it telling? Button clicked. So what is happening? Whenever I click on this button, it is actually calling this function. In this function, I show an alert button clicked. Okay. So guys here, if I click on try it here, so I am selecting able tutor name here. Able tutor name I am selecting here. Whenever I click on this button here in place, after this button clicked, I have to show the able tutor value. Able tutor value is system ID. Able tutor value is system ID. Okay. So in this case, to get this, assigned to value, you have to use this ID, guys. ID. ID is like a field name, like you have field label, field name, right? So similarly, ID is used to get the field value. Okay. Plus gel. Gel is used to get the IDs. Gel ID. This is the ID. Dot value. If I click on try it here, I am selecting a person name here. When I click on try, assign here, what is it telling? Button clicked plus the system ID. Button clicked plus system ID. This is actually Rebecca system ID. Rebecca system ID. Okay. Well, here we have created a UI page. In that UI page, we created a reference field and we created a button. Whenever you click on that button, it will show an alert, button clicked, and it will also show the selected assigned to value. Okay, we'll also provide the label to the reference field. You can see now assigned to the reference field. Okay. And whenever you click on this one, it is showing nothing because we haven't selected any assigned to value. I am selecting one value here. Once I click on submit, you can see button clicked the system ID of this person. Okay. So now we created a UI page, guys. Okay. Clear, right? These UI pages can be called in any client-side scripting. These UI pages can be called in any client-side scripting. So UI pages are web pages. It can be called in any client-side scripting. Okay. So you can use glide dialog window. You can use glide dialog window to call the UI pages. You can use glide dialog window to call the UI pages, guys. We can also use glide model. Glide model is the latest one to call the UI page. Okay. So I am going to call this UI page from the client side UI action. Okay, I'll show you. So I am going to the incident form. In the incident form, I created a button called work in progress, right? Right click, configure, go to work in progress. Sorry, go to UI actions. In the UI actions, you go to the work in progress UI action. So what are we doing here? If the assigned to is empty, we are showing the field message. Okay, what are we doing? This is a client side UI action. Okay. In that, if the I'm checking assigned to field value is filled in or not. If it is empty, I'm showing the field message here, isn't it? In place of this field message, I want to call that UI page here. So I'm not just showing the error message, I'm just showing the UI, I'm just calling the UI page. Where GDW, glide dialog window is equal to new glide dialog window work in progress. Okay, this is the UI page. Okay, GDW dot render. Render will actually show the UI page. GDW dot render will show the UI page. Okay. Now you can see assign to field value is not filled in, right? Whenever I click on this button, it is calling the UI page. This is the UI page that we created. This is called UI page, guys. Whenever I click on this button, as assign to is not filled in, it is actually showing the UI page. Here you can select assign to. So whatever the field that you are seeing here, the same field I created in the UI page. Got it, right? Earlier, what I was doing, I was actually showing the error message here, just below the assign to field. In place of that error message, what I have done, I created a UI page. I called that UI page in the UI action using glide dialog window. Okay. I can also increase the size of the UI page. GDW dot set size. Okay. 350 comma 400. Now I change I want to set the title as well. Okay. Just to save this one. So you are calling the UI page and you are actually setting the title for the UI page. You are actually keeping the size for the UI page. Render will call the UI page. Scroll down here. So whenever you click on work in progress here, you are able to see select assign to. Size is actually still the same. Huh? Mm, 5 to width. 5 to 500. Width to 500. So I increase the size here. Okay. What I can do, I can actually select the assign to person here. Whenever I select the assign to person here, click on assign. What is it telling? Button clicked. Button clicked. This is the person name. Rebecca person name I have selected. The person system ID here we are select. We are getting here. Okay. So what I mean to say is whenever I click on this button, this person name should be updated in the assign to field. Getting my point? This person name should be updated in the assign to field. Okay. Clear, right? I'm going to the UI page. In the UI page, so instead of this alert, okay, I'm getting the assign to value here, right? Where assign to is equal to. Okay, I have taken the assign to value. Guys, here what I'm doing is, whenever I click on this button, whenever I click on this button, this value I want to update in this particular field, right? I have to update this value in the database. I have to update this value in the database. That means whatever the value that I selected here, I have to pass this value to the database and I have to update in the database. So that is where what I will do here in the UI page, Here I have to write glide ajax. In this client script, I have to write glide ajax again. So when you have to write the glide ajax again, we have to write the script include. Okay. So first of all, very first thing I am going to create a script include, guys. Fine. Under system definition, you will go to script includes. Okay. Clear, right? I'm just keeping it as incident utils. Make sure this is client callable. And here, populate caller. Okay. So within this, we have to write glide record to update the record. So I'm writing glide record on the incident table. Okay. Where system ID the custom parameter name. Okay, the custom parameter name we have to provide here. Okay. Well, gr dot set value assign to comma this dot get parameter gr dot update gr dot update. So we don't have to get the value here, guys. We have to only set the value. Okay. Is updated. Okay. I am just creating a script include. I'm just keeping for the timing it as read only. I have created a script include here. Okay. So I'm going to call this script include in the client script, UI pages client script. Where GA is equal to new glide ajax. The script include name. GA dot add param. Sys param name comma. Okay. GA dot add param. So the custom parameters that we have defined, right? Sys param inc id. G underscore form dot Okay. This param assigned to. So here I have to pass assign to value. Assign to value, you can get it using ID, guys. Gel. This assign to value you have already taken here. You can use this variable and you can populate it here. Okay. So ga dot get XML answer. Get XML answer is actually an asynchronous call, right? You have to use callback function. Okay. I will show you. Now you go to the form and refresh this one. Whenever you click on the work in progress button, you will be able to select the send to person name here. Whenever you click on this button here, this person should go to this particular field, guys. I'm clicking on assign here. You can see whatever the person that I selected, Steve score, the person is updated here or not. The person is updated here or not. Hmm? So whenever I click on this button, whoever you selected here, that person should go to this particular field. And this UI page should disappear. To disappear that UI page, here I have to write glide dialog window dot get destroy. Okay. So whenever you click on, if this field is empty, the UI page will appear, guys. If this field is empty, the UI page will appear. If this field is not empty, UI page will not appear. So whenever you click on this button, what is happening? You should be able to select the assign to person here. Once you select that person here and click on assign, the person name is updated here. Getting my point? The person name is updated here. It is marked the state as in progress. Earlier, what we were doing, if the assigned to field is empty, we are actually showing an error message. That's it. Now, in place of that error message, what we are doing, we are calling the UI page. Okay, I am going to show you one more time. So now it is actually in the new state, right? Okay. I want to mark it as work in progress. If I have to mark it as work in progress, assigned to must be filled in. If the assigned to field is not filled in, earlier we were showing error message. Now in place of error message, we are calling the UI page. Okay, here we are able to select the assigned to person. Okay, you click on sign in here. Then that person name is updated here and it is actually going to in progress state. Getting my point? So guys, here we have actually called the UI page in the UI action using glide dialog window. You can also use glide model as well. Glide model. Save this one. Okay. Now you go to the form again and refresh this one. Now the look and feel will be a little more different, guys. Whenever you click on work in progress, okay, this is already in progress, right? Let me save this one. Okay, whenever I click on work in progress here, this is a UI page, but we using glide model we are calling it. The look and feel is different, right? Earlier it was appearing in the middle. Now it is actually appearing here. This is actually the difference between glide model. This one you are actually showing this UI page using glide model. Okay, if I select a person here, click on assign here, the value is actually updated here. The state is marked as in progress. If you use glide dialog window, somewhere it will appear here. The look and feel is different. If you use glide model, the look and feel is little more different. Okay. So first of all, what we have, let me just repeat this one, guys. Okay. Guys, normally you don't get requirements on UI pages, but once you get the requirement on UI pages, you have to understand the concepts from the basics. That is why I have told you. Okay. So guys, in the UI pages, first of all, what we have done here, we have created a UI page. What is that UI page? This is a UI page. In this UI page, we have actually created a reference field called reference field. In that reference field, we are referencing users. Okay. And we created a button called assign button. We created a button called assign button. And whenever you click on this button, it will be primary means blue color waves. Whenever you click on this button, it is actually calling this function. This function is declared in the client side script. So inside the client script, I am actually taking the assign to value using this ID, gel ID value. Okay. So GA is equal to new glide ajax, the script include name, GA.add param, sysparam name, the so we are actually calling the script include, guys. Okay. We are calling the script include. Inside the script include, we are calling this function. This is the script include, guys. Inside the script include, we are calling this function. Inside the script include, I am passing the incident system ID. So incident system ID, I am actually getting it using g underscore form dot get unique value. So I am taking the assign to value. Assign to value, I am getting it gel assign to dot value. Sysparam assign to. Okay. Get XML answer callback function. In the callback function, you are getting the response from the script include. So in the script include, if it is updated, you are actually storing value true. If it is not updated, you are storing the value as false. So if it is updated, it will actually pass as true. If it is not updated, it will pass as false. Okay. So if it is updated, I am showing a field message. I am showing a message that incident is assigned, and I am closing the UI page. This line is used to close the UI page. Destroy means closing. Destroy means you are closing the UI page, guys. Okay, clear, right? And then what after that, what you are doing here? You are calling this UI page. You are calling this UI page in the UI action using glide model or glide dialog window. You are calling the UI page. Okay. So guys, to understand this requirement, to understand this requirement, you should have already covered all the topics previously. So you should understand what is glide form. You should understand what is glide ajax. So you should understand the glide ajax concept, glide form concept. You should understand all the concepts. Only then you will be able to understand this UI pages concept. If you haven't practiced in the past, this will be a little more tricky, guys, for you. I'm going to repeat it one more time, guys. First of all, I created a UI page. In the UI page, I created a reference field which is referencing user table. Then I created a button. That button I am showing it in blue color. Whenever you click on this button, on click. So this it will actually call this function. Inside this function, I am actually getting the selected assign to value using gel, the ID name dot value. Okay. And here I am calling the script include, guys. The script include is this one. Inside the script include, this function I am calling here. This is that one. And inside that script include, I am passing the incident system ID. Incident system ID, you are getting it using g underscore form dot get unique value. And assign to value, you are actually passing this assign to value here. You are actually calling it asynchronously. Get XML answer means asynchronous. So asynchronous calls use callback function. In the callback function, I am actually getting response is true. If it is updated successfully, I am telling incident is assigned. And I am actually closing the UI page. This UI page, I'm actually calling in the UI action, guys. So this is a client-side UI action. This is a client-side UI action. So in the client-side UI action, I am calling this UI page, guys. Okay. Using glide dialog window, using glide model, you can call that UI page. Okay, we will see another example, guys. So whenever you click on close button, what is it telling? It is showing error message. In place of this error message, I want to show the UI page. Work notes, guys. Whenever I click on close, what is it telling? Work notes are mandatory. In place of this error message, I want to show the UI page. So I am going to create a UI page. Okay. So in place of reference field, I am going to create another field called work notes. Close. Close instead. ID work notes. Okay. Close INC. I am passing work notes. Incident is closed. I have created a UI page called incident close UI page. In that, I have actually created a field called work notes field. Okay, text area. Text area is actually tagged in the HTML. Okay, close button. I've created a close button. Whenever you click on this button, it will actually call this function. In this function, I am taking the work notes. Okay. So in the script include, okay, Okay. Now you can see whenever I click on this button, you have to go to close UI action, guys. In that close UI action, you have to call the UI page. In place of this error message, I have to call the UI page. The UI page name is this one. Incident close. Okay, whenever you click on work in progress here, okay, whenever you click on close, it is showing the UI page. Okay, this UI page should be properly aligned, guys. You can see work notes. Whenever you enter the work notes here, click on close button here. Okay, the work note should be updated here. So work notes field name, we did not actually mention here, right? Did we mention work notes? Okay, gr.work_notes. Okay. We'll close this one. I'm just clicking on close button. It is calling the UI page. So whenever you click on close, incident is closed. What is it telling? The following fields are mandatory: resolution code and notes. Okay. So it is telling you should also enter the resolution code and notes as well. So whenever you are trying to close, it is asking this resolution code and notes also must be provided, is what it is telling. So for the time being here, what I am doing is, and whenever you click on close here, what is it telling? It is keeping the state as closed and it is showing the incident is closed. You can see resolution code is updated, notes is updated, hmm? And we will see work notes is updated or not. Work notes is also updated. So what we were doing whenever we click on close button, what it was actually checking if the work notes field is filled in or not. If the work note field is not filled in, it was showing error message. In place of the error message, what we have done, we have created a UI page. We are calling that UI page. We are calling that UI page here. In place of that error message, we are calling that UI page. Right? So first of all, guys, we created a UI page. In that UI page, we have created a work notes field. And then we have created a button called close button. Whenever you click on that button, it will call this function. Inside the function, we are actually taking the work notes value that you entered here. and you are calling the script include. Inside the script include, you are calling this method. Inside that method, you are passing the incident system ID, you are passing the work nodes. Okay, this is the script include that you are calling. This is the method that you are calling. Inside that, you are actually querying the incident table with the current incident system ID, and you are actually keeping the work nodes as selected work nodes, keeping the close code as a solution provided, close nodes as test value, and state as closed, and you are updating it. Once it is updated, you are passing updated as true. So once you have received it as true here, you are telling incident is closed, you are closing the UI page here. Okay. And you are calling this UI page here in the UI action in place of the error message. Okay. So that is how UI pages will work in ServiceNow, guys. Okay. Clear, right?